to an Arab language newspaper in the Middle East that, of course, nobody in America reads. And the translation of the interview stated that President Obama admitted that Iran is still a state sponsor of terrorism. And then he goes and gives them $150 billion.
I mean, again, none of this makes sense. I want you to be patient and stay with me, because Hillary supported the Gitmo detainee issue. She was on the wrong side on the Muslim Brotherhood issue. The Iranian issue was negotiated while she was the Secretary of State, and the same thing with Iraq and the same thing with Syria. Now, she has taken through the Clinton Foundation and donations to the Clinton Library. I want to go through this slowly. Stay with me. If you start with Saudi Arabia, okay, $25 million up to that amount to the Clinton Foundation, $10 million to the Clinton Library. Women can't drive. They need permission to work or travel. Marital rape not recognized. If you're gay or lesbian, punishable by death. No churches, no temples in Saudi Arabia. She takes their money. Go to Kuwait, up to $10 million donated to the Clinton Foundation. Courts deny women the right to become public prosecutors and judges. No laws against domestic violence or rape. And if you're gay and you're involved in a homosexual act, well, that's illegal, and you can get 7 years in prison and a fine. If you go to the UAE, they donated up to $5 million to the Clinton Foundation. Men have the legal right to beat their wives with physical violence. Marital rape is not recognized. Same-sex marriage is illegal. All sex activity outside of marriage is illegal, and women are often punished severely for adultery. Then we go to Brunei. Money donated to the Clinton Foundation up to $5 million. Marital rape is not a crime, as the wife is not under the age of 13. And if you're gay, those acts are illegal, punishable by up to 10 years in prison, in some cases death. Qatar, $5 million up to that amount to the Clinton Foundation. Marital rape not a crime. The law states that it's a woman's responsibility to obey her husband. And if you're gay and you commit gay acts, punishable by death. Oman, up to $5 million to the Clinton Foundation. A woman's consent is not required to legalize a marriage. Marital rape is not a crime. If you're gay, it's punishable by up to 6 months to 3 years in prison. Algeria gave, up to $500,000 to the Clinton Foundation. Marital rape not a crime. Married women under 18, they can't travel abroad without the permission of their husband. Homosexual activity is illegal, punishable by 2 months to 2 years in prison and a fine. And the Washington Post reports that many Middle Eastern countries donated over $1 million to the Clinton Foundation, as you can see up there on the screen. Now, I say all of this. She says she's the champion of women's rights and gay rights. And up until this week, she's never criticized the practices of these countries and took their money. How corrupt, is that hypocrisy in your view?
Sean, I have to commend you and your amazing team. You have just summarized with some very important data and research everything that the Huffington Post and the New York Times should be doing. If they actually believed in the values that they spout, they should have published what you just summarized in 3 minutes, and Hillary Clinton's campaign would be down in flames. She would be exposed for what she is, a person who loves power more than anything else, and is prepared to say one thing while receiving money from the people who stand for exactly the opposite.
So seriously, if all the reports that we read, all right, that Donald Trump has trouble with the women's vote, Mitt Romney was excoriated because he had women's resumes and binders, women that he wanted to hire. Women are discriminated against in all of these countries she took money against. Gays and lesbians are either executed or punished severely. They're mistreated. She claims to be their champion. If you're a Christian, you cannot build a temple. A church in Saudi Arabia. You cannot build a temple if you're Jewish. She claims to be the advocate, the champion of all of their rights. How do you explain the taking of money in this particular case?
Very simply, for the left today, not the Democrat Party of the 1960s of JFK, but for the Democratic Party today, reality is optional. It has been kidnapped by the Alinskyites, For them, it is just the cause. You say whatever you like as long as you can maintain power. It's not about truth, Sean, anymore. It's about staying in power and getting the millions. You've just proven it.
All right, let me ask you. You're an expert on military matters. You've examined the Clinton, Obama foreign policy in Libya, in Syria, pulling out of Iraq early, giving back gains such as Mosul, Ramadi, Fallujah, and Tikrit, releasing Gitmo detainees, giving money to the former Muslim Brotherhood head, Mohammed Morsi, and $150 billion to Iran. Examine that from a national security standpoint. How profound are these mistakes?
They're catastrophic, Sean. They are literally catastrophic. In every case, think about just the release of the top leaders of the Taliban, literally the war cabinet of the Taliban released from Gitmo. We've seen a 40% recidivism rate. The people we let out go back to killing in the name of Allah once we free them. How is this good for our security or the security of our allies? Wherever you look, the world is on fire. In the Middle East, in Africa, in South Asia, wherever they have touched a region, our enemies are emboldened and our friends and allies are fearful. Whoever the next president is, it will be a job of Herculean proportions to win back the confidence of everybody who no longer trusts us because of Hillary Clinton's foreign policy and the national security policy of President Barack Obama.